At 11, hear what else has been done to several other homes and why police are now calling this a crime spree.
Bruce, take us to that weather.
Okay, yeah, showers on the decrease. Maybe not totally done yet, but they are decreasing tonight. And there's a 7-day forecast. We're going to 70 on Saturday.
Oh.
Not a bad deal.
Pretty good.
Thanks,
CBS
Bruce.
Evening News up next.
Good night.
Tonight, the chairman of the Fed sees an end to this recession in just a few months, but look for unemployment to keep rising. I'm Jeff Glor. Also tonight, a mass exodus from Pakistan's Swat Valley. As many as 500,000 start to flee, expecting a showdown between the Taliban and the Pakistani army. State attorneys general pressure Craigslist to clean up the website after it's linked to a high-profile murder case. And the high school phenom who's beating the boys at their own game.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
And good evening, Katie's on assignment. We begin tonight with the question everyone's asking. When will this recession end? The chairman of the Federal Reserve says the end is in sight now, telling Congress today he sees a turnaround later this year. But even if that happens, he said, unemployment will keep rising. Here's Chip Reed.
Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke walked a fine line today, balancing hints of good news on the economy against signs of a long and painful recovery.
We are hopeful that the very sharp decline we saw beginning last fall through early this year will moderate considerably in the near term, and that we'll see positive growth by the end of the year.
He cited positive news on housing. Pending home sales were up 3.2% in March.
That the housing market is beginning to stabilize.
Consumer spending, he said, is also up 2.2% in the first quarter, and it will get a boost in coming months, Bernanke said, from the president's stimulus package. But the recovery will only gradually gain momentum, he warned, and with businesses nervous about hiring new workers, unemployment will remain high even after the recovery is well underway.
We think that the unemployment rate will probably peak early in 2010 and then come down relatively slowly after that.
Bernanke defended the so-called stress tests that were delivered to 19 major banks today and will be publicly unveiled Thursday. He argued that transparency will restore confidence in the banks.
That's a very important part of this whole process, is letting people see what is on the bank's balance sheets.
Treasury Department sources say about 10 of the banks will be ordered to raise more capital to make sure they can survive if the recession becomes even worse. If the banks can't raise the money on their own, the federal government has promised to back them up once again. Former Fed Governor Larry Meyer says it's necessary to make sure the banking system survives, but that doesn't mean taxpayers will be happy.
If they tell us that a dozen or more banks need capital and that it more than exhausts the funds they have available, that'll be a very bad day for the markets.
But Bernanke says the stakes are so high on stabilizing the banks that failure to do so could stall this economic recovery. Jeff?
All right, Chip Reed in Washington. Chip, thank you. Chairman Bernanke mentioned the positive signs for the housing market, and they are out there, but this slump is still far from over. Here's John Blackstone.
A wrecking crew in Victorville, California today provides stark evidence of the collapse in housing. It would cost more for the developer to finish these 17 new houses and sell them than it would to just tear them down. So the bank called in bulldozers. With California house prices falling by 50% or more, those who bought during the bubble are in big trouble. Last November, Mountain House, a new planned community 60 miles east of San Francisco, became notorious as a place where 90% of the 3,000 homeowners owed more than their houses were worth. But now, the wave of foreclosures is attracting new buyers.
And so we just waited and waited, and sure enough, the bubble burst.
Victoria Perry and her husband bought a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house in January.
You paid about $400 or so for this.
$405, yeah.
For a house that somebody else paid almost $800 for.
Yeah, exactly.
Across the country, first-time buyers are fueling the beginnings of a turnaround. In the first quarter of this year, they accounted for 65% of existing home sales, a 41% increase over last year.
People coming in now are getting bargains.
Sure. Yes, they are. They're getting a good deal.
First-time buyers like Barbara Kaiser are seen by economists as the potential leading edge of a turnaround in the housing market.
a few years ago will never own a house.
Never. We wouldn't have bought a house at all a few years ago. We couldn't afford it, and it would have been smarter to rent. So right now, it's a really smart time to buy.
In Mountain House, 66 homes sold in the first quarter of this year, almost triple the 24 that sold in the same period a year ago. It's a glimmer of hope also seen in other communities. In Sacramento, sales are up by 45% over this time last year. In Las Vegas, up by 35%. But as the destruction in Victorville dramatically shows, not everyone is convinced the worst is over. John Blackstone, CBS News, Mountain House, California.
In other news tonight, President Obama welcomes the leaders of Pakistan and Afghanistan to the White House tomorrow. Their meeting comes as Pakistan's military prepares for a showdown with the Taliban in the Swat Valley. More now from our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Lara Logan, who's just back from Pakistan.
Residents are packing up and fleeing the Swat Valley, the government preparing to shelter up to 500,000 people. A sure sign the situation is getting worse, not better. It may also mean the Pakistani army is finally doing what the U.S. wants, taking on the Taliban and al-Qaeda militants who now control that area. That issue's sure to be top of the agenda tomorrow when 3 presidents meet. Barack Obama's greatest foreign policy challenge so far in the hands of these 2 men, Pakistan's Asif Ali Zardari and Afghanistan's Hamid Karzai.
He might get warm handshakes, but can the men deliver and deliver adequately? It is far from clear.
The U.S. needs Zardari to rein in the militants and guarantee his nation's nuclear weapons are safe from terrorist hands. But the U.S. is dealing with a weak president in a country more accustomed to military dictatorships.
In general, he's not very popular.
Like many Pakistanis, Fouzia Saeed supports the president's party, but not the man himself.
One thing that we do not want is for any powerful country, especially United States, to undermine our democracy.
Pakistanis do feel undermined by recent public statements from the U.S.
The civilian government there right now is very fragile.
That may be true, but saying it hasn't made President Zardari any stronger as he faces critics in Washington and at home. Here in the poorest areas of the capital Islamabad, people feel abandoned by the government. Even though many of them voted for President Zardari and his party, they say he's done nothing for them. Across the border in Afghanistan, many feel the same way about President Karzai.
He has turned into somebody which has shown the ultimate sense of irresponsibility towards the needs and the feelings of the people.
Today in Washington, Karzai asserted his independence from his U.S. backers, mindful of his audience at home.
Money can't buy you love, as you say it in America. And force won't buy you obedience, no matter how much it is.
President Obama's challenge, how to get results without alienating 2 key U.S. allies. Jeff?
Lara Logan tonight. Lara, thank you. Now the latest on the controversy surrounding Craigslist. With more than 50 million users a month, there is great concern over how that website is managed. And today, state's attorneys general met with company officials to get the popular online classified network to clean up its sex-related postings. One of those ads has been linked to a recent high-profile murder. Kelly Wallace has more.
In a closed meeting inside this Manhattan office building, 3 attorneys general pressed lawyers from Craigslist to permanently remove the site's controversial erotic services section.
No question, absolutely none, that Craigslist is operating an online brothel here. We're going after them to persuade them they ought to do the right thing, cooperate, and eliminate these ads.
South Carolina's attorney general went further, saying remove all prostitution ads and pornography in 10 days, or he'll prosecute the executives of Craigslist.
It is nothing but filth. It is advertisement for prostitution.
But experts say it's unlikely Craigslist can be held criminally liable. Current federal law grants immunity to web operators like Craigslist for content on their site they did not create.
Simply because Craigslist knew there was bad behavior going on online, that somehow makes them culpable. Well, perhaps in a moral sense, and the attorneys general are free to argue that, but what they can't do is argue that there is some kind of legal violation here.
The pressure on the classified online site intensified after Philip Markoff was accused of robbing 2 women and killing another, all of whom he met on Craigslist. In a statement, Craigslist CEO said of today's meeting, "We are optimistic that our shared concerns can be addressed without compromising free speech." In November, Craigslist, at the urging of 40 attorneys general, began requiring a working phone number and credit card to advertise erotic services. But the state's top prosecutors today demanded Craigslist take tougher action in days, not months. Kelly Wallace, CBS News, New York.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, a horrible crime destroyed her face. We'll show you the remarkable results of America's first ever face transplant.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. One pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
Mom was diagnosed with moderate Alzheimer's. It was tough news to hear. Everything changed. I didn't know what to do. Right about then, our doctor mentioned the Exelon patch. He said it releases medicine continuously for 24 hours. He said it could help with her cognition, which includes things like memory, reasoning, communicating, and understanding.
The most common side effects of Exelon patch are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The likelihood and severity of these side effects may increase as the dose increases. Patients may experience loss of appetite or weight. Patients who weigh less than 110 pounds may experience more side effects. People at risk for stomach ulcers or who take certain other medicine should talk to their doctor because serious stomach problems such as bleeding may worsen.
Mom's diagnosis was hard to hear, but there's something I can do.
Ask your doctor about the Exelon patch. Visit exelonpatch.com to learn more.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Here's a plan for America's broadband users to save $16 billion a year and $300 individually. Switch to Net Zero dial-up at $9.95 per month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or go to netzero.com.
It's a revolution in pain relief.
The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll. Take what you need for shoulders, backs, joints, even arthritis. Medicated relief gets icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away. The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll.
With the roll, pain's under control.
Okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
This is the right stuff. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. It kills weeds down to the root. Even the tough ones like dandelion and crabgrass.
Yeah, but unlike that other stuff, it won't kill the grass. Ortho guarantees it. Kill the weeds, not the lawn.
Weeds, not lawn.
Got it?
Yeah. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max.
Defend what's yours.
The H1N1 flu has claimed a second life here in the U.S. Texas health officials can report a woman in her mid-30s died earlier this week. They say she did have underlying health problems, but gave no details. Today, the CDC confirmed more than 400 flu cases in 38 states. And the Navy canceled the June 1st deployment of an amphibious ship, the Dubuque, based in San Diego. There is one confirmed case on the ship and 50 others suspected. Meanwhile, U.S. health officials are no longer recommending that schools close because of the flu, now that the virus has turned out to be milder than initially feared. Now, a very different medical story. The first ever face transplant in this country. Today, we saw and heard from that patient for the first time. Michelle Miller has the story, but this warning, some of these images are graphic.
5 years ago, Connie Culp was a striking, energetic mother of two. Then one night, her husband tried to end it all. He pointed a shotgun at her and pulled the trigger. The blast blew away her nose, her upper jaw, and left her almost blind.
Could not breathe through her nose, could not smell, could not at least sense aroma.
Her husband was in jail, but after 30 plastic surgeries, she was confined to home with little help of leading a normal life.
Society have rejected her. She was called names, and children were afraid of her.
Until last December, when a team of 8 surgeons at the Cleveland Clinic began a 22-hour operation to replace 80% of her face. The cost for all of her medical care, an estimated $1 million, though she didn't have to pay for it. First, doctors removed the face of the donor, who had been declared brain dead. And through microsurgery, the team connected Connie's veins, arteries, and nerves to the tissue, rebuilding the bones to support it all. Connie remained anonymous until today, when she revealed her new face and her old sense of humor.
I don't need my nose.
With her new nose, she's recovered her sense of smell. Connie can also now eat solid food, drink without a straw, and breathe on her own.
She eats hamburgers and enjoys her pizzas. She's drinking coffee from the cup.
Like any transplant patient, Connie takes medication so her body doesn't reject the donor tissue, and she faces more surgery ahead. But today, she hopes her story is a lesson for everyone.
So don't judge people that don't look the same as you do, because you never know. One day it might be all taken away.
Michelle Miller, CBS News, New York.
Well, straight ahead here. Journalists put aside competition to help solve the murder of a colleague killed doing his job.
My grandkids are a great reason for me to keep my bones strong. But even with calcium, vitamin D, and exercise, I still got osteoporosis. I never thought I could do more than stop my bone loss. And then my doctor told me I could, with once monthly Boniva. Boniva works with your body to help stop and reverse bone loss. Studies show after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women stopped and reversed their bone loss. I know I did.
Don't take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or can't sit or stand for at least 1 hour. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you have difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. If jaw problems or severe bone, joint, and/or muscle pain develop, tell your doctor.
I've got this one body and this one life, so I wanted to stop my bone loss, but I did more. I reversed it with Boniva. Ask your doctor if Boniva can help you stop losing and start reversing.
For a free trial offer, call 1-800-4-BONIVA.
Honey, we've got itches.
Ooh. Is it bug bite, allergy, rash, poison ivy, rat allergy?
The only medicine you need is Lanacane. It stops itching fast, kills germs too. One and only Lanacane, the every itch fighter.
Let Friskies indoor wet cat food unlock the freshness and freedom of the outdoors for your indoor cat. Specially formulated to promote healthy weight and hairball control. Friskies indoor wet cat food. Feed the senses.
It's clear we need more energy from all sources. And most Americans agree we need more domestic oil and natural gas. But does that mean you'll see more oil and gas platforms? Well, with advanced subsea technology, one platform can now gather oil from wells 40 miles away. So what used to take many just a few years ago now takes only one. That's more of the oil and natural gas we need from less than meets the eye. Log on to learn more.
She's losing her battle against nasal allergies, but we found a way to fight it.
Omneris to the nose!
Omneris works differently than many other allergy medications. Omneris fights nasal allergy symptoms that occur from allergic inflammation. Relieve those symptoms with Omneris. Side effects may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat. Mission accomplished. Oh, incoming! Ask your doctor about Omneris. In the battle against nasal allergy symptoms, Omneris combats the cause.
In Alameda County, California, tomorrow, 2 men will be arraigned for allegedly ordering the murder of journalist Chauncey Bailey. The case was cold until a group of reporters banded together to conduct their own investigation. Here once again is John Blackstone.
When Chauncey Bailey was gunned down in Oakland, California nearly 2 years ago, his killing shook up his city and his profession.
The reporter got his head blown off. It's that simple.
Bailey was editor of the weekly Oakland Post. He was investigating a black Muslim splinter group allegedly using a local bakery as a front for criminal activities when he was shot.
You can't let that go unanswered, because what happens to the next reporter who's investigating a story that someone doesn't want him to report?
But at a time when newsrooms and news budgets are shrinking, some feared Chauncey Bailey's work might go unfinished. So with some foundation support, 24 news organizations agreed, somewhat reluctantly, to collaborate.
collaboration was something we shied away from, really, because it was get the story, get it first, and scoop somebody.
The reporters who joined forces on the Chauncey Bailey project admit putting aside competition wasn't always easy.
And if you have secret sources, are you going to share them with all the people in this room? Well, yeah, but that was hard.
Yeah, there's been a few chairs thrown.
Their work was low budget. 2 of the 3 lead reporters didn't have jobs. Bob Butler laid off from radio. Mary Fricker retired. But on story after story, they pressed the police investigation. Their reporting revealed links between the lead detective on the case and the black Muslim group's leader, Yusuf Bey. Last month, the detective was suspended. The big breakthrough came when the reporters obtained a secretly recorded jailhouse video of Bey and found something detectives had missed. They heard Bey whispering he had the gun used to kill Bailey. That admission became headline news.
It gets the message out, and it sends the message that investigative reporting is still alive.
Finally, 2 years after the killing, Bey has been indicted for Chauncey Bailey's murder. He'll be arraigned tomorrow. For the reporters, getting results became more important than getting a scoop, a team effort that would have made the slain journalist proud. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
In other news tonight, there aren't many guarantees in life, but the words "Here's Dom DeLuise" were a sure bet we were going to laugh. The much-loved comedian and actor died overnight in Santa Monica, California. Though he was often a second banana, Dom DeLuise was always a ham.
Okay, simmer down.
His comic timing and generous frame made him a lovable favorite on Dean Martin's variety show, and led to a career as a character actor in some of Hollywood's most memorable films.
Not in the face. Thank you.
DeLuise is most famous for playing the bumbling buddy of leading man Burt Reynolds. The duo made 6 films together, including the slapstick classic Cannonball Run.
Dun, dun! I am Captain Chaos.
An avid foodie and amateur chef, DeLuise penned 2 cookbooks.
Most people wake up to an alarm clock. I would wake up to the smell of food,
And one said of Hollywood that he'd rather be at home with 12 people around his table. Dom DeLuise was 75.
Need extra income? See how some are putting their houses to work in showbiz.
At $15,000.
Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
I'm Lindy. And I'm Joni. We've been best friends since we were 2. We've always been alike.
We even both have osteoporosis, but we're active, especially when we vacation. So when I heard about Reclass, the only once-a-year IV osteoporosis treatment, I called Joni.
My doctor said Reclass helps re-strengthen our bones to help make them resistant to fracture for 12 whole months.
And Reclass is approved to help protect from fracture in more places. Hips, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclast if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely jaw problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Nothing strengthens you like an old friendship.
But when it comes to our bones, we both look to Reclass.
You've got to ask your doctor.
Once a year Reclass, year-long protection for on-the-go women.
I absolutely love playing badminton. Started playing after 30 years again, and it's wonderful. It keeps me young. My shoulder sometimes hurts, and my doctor said I was overusing my knees. And I said, well, that's not the answer I want to hear. A leave makes me pain-free, so I can move on the court. And you can't play this game if you can't move on the court and get to the bird and return it. I'm Anne-Marie Donahoe, and with a leave, I'll never stop playing badminton.
We'll be experiencing turbulence. Please secure your belongings.
Glad Press and Seal Wrap. Just pull, place, and press. It gives you a spill-proof seal and makes instant bags to help keep food fresh. To seal almost anything, Glad Press and Seal Wrap. Get Glad.
I'm Robert Shapiro. Over 1 million people have discovered how easy it is to use LegalZoom for important legal documents. So start your business, protect your family, launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
FTD's network of over 40,000 florists around the world have been creating beautiful arrangements for almost 100 years. Each arrangement is expertly crafted, delivered the same day, and backed by FTD's 7-day satisfaction guarantee. For nearly a century, people have trusted their most important occasions to the flower experts at FTD. So whether you're sending flowers around the corner or around the world, visit us at ftd.com.
At 11 tonight, a local family's car is covered in hateful graffiti.
Why they're worried it all stems from trouble at their daughter's school at 11.
It was a power lunch in a burger joint.
I have a Swiss cheeseburger, jalapeno peppers. And you put ketchup on it, or we do that ourselves?
I'm going to have just your basic cheddar cheeseburger, medium well.
The president today treated the vice president to lunch at a place called Ray's Hellburger in Virginia. The president had his burger with cheddar, as you heard, the vice president Swiss. They shared an order of cheesy potato puffs. And yes, the president left a tip, a portrait of his favorite predecessor, Abe Lincoln. Finally, tonight, if there's anything as American as hamburgers, it's baseball. Sandra Hughes tonight has the story of a trailblazing high school pitcher.
When the Burbank High School baseball team hits the locker room, the starting pitcher changes in the snack bar.
1, 2, 3, touch! There are some teams that when they realize there's a girl pitching, they kind of step up their swagger a little bit, you know, and they're like, what is this, a joke?
By the third strikeout in a row, no one's laughing at 5'2" Marty Sementelli.
On the mound, you know, it doesn't matter your height, just gotta hit your spots.
You feel like you're 10 feet tall out there on the mound?
Yeah.
Just hit the target.
Her dad, Gary, has guided every missile.
Strike.
Yay! Go, Marty, go! Ever since she was big enough to hold a bat and ball. In Little League, she had more than 500 strikeouts. Already this season, 35 strikeouts in the first 6 games.
How many different pitches do you have?
I have about like 8 different ones. I have my fastball, curveball, slider, 2 different kinds of cutters, 2 different kinds of palm balls, and a changeup.
Most major league players have 3 pitches. 35 years ago, a lawsuit forced Little League to let girls play baseball. In response, the organization also created a separate league of their own for softball.
Today, 100,000 girls play Little League baseball, but far more, 360,000, play softball.
And after age 12, the message is clear. Boys play baseball, girls play softball. Marty wasn't listening.
Did you ever think about going into softball?
Never. Everyone always asked me that. I would never be a pitcher. It's so awkward to me. It's not the right motion to me.
An 11-inch softball is pitched underhand. A baseball 2 inches smaller is pitched overhand.
Calling softball the same as baseball is like calling tennis the same as ping pong.
In Japan, where females of all ages play America's pastime, Marty won Most Valuable Pitcher in the Women's World Cup. Back home, she's hoping being best in the world is good enough to stay in the game in high school, college, and beyond. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Burbank.
And that is the CBS Evening News tonight. For Katie Couric, I'm Jeff Glor. Harry Smith will be here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Katie Couric, honored with a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Emmy Award for excellence in journalism. CBS News is very good news.
Whether it's Perry Ellis or Jones, New York, everybody can agree designer suits look expensive. Well, they are expensive. They're just not expensive here. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Attention, the smart cars are available now for immediate delivery. The two-seater Wonder car starts at under $13,000.
Smart.
Check out our very smart quality pre-owned vehicles, many makes and models.
Very smart.
Smart Center, Portland on Canyon Road.
Way smart.
Today, my local Oil Can Henry's is doing a lot more than changing oil.
Whether it's flushing your transmission, replacing wiper blades, or installing a serpentine belt, our trained technicians give you the confidence that your vehicle's running better and lasting longer. Quick, convenient service at a fair price.
That's what makes Oil Can Henry's the one you can trust.
Watch your mailbox for money-saving coupons or go to oilcanhenrys.com.